There we go. Pick up, everybody. Back here again on Sofia's Football Talk. I'm joined by the lovely Sophie from Gunnar Gossip. How are you? Are you okay?
I'm really good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your channel again. I can't wait to preview this game. How are you doing?
I'm all good. Very excited about the game. I've been having a bad cold this entire week, but luckily feeling a lot better. This game is definitely giving me lots of energy. So, as we talked off stage, I'm very excited to discuss this game. So, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good, definitely. I mean, it's a really weird one for Arsenal because I think I just don't know how to feel about this game. But as I said, it'll be so lovely to chat with you today, to listen to some of the questions or comments people will send in. So yeah, I really can't wait to chat with you.
Likewise, well said. People, before we start, make sure that you, of course, subscribe to the channel. Give this video here a big thumbs up, but also do subscribe to Sophie's
Oh,
channel. I have linked it in the title and, of course, also in the description box. So show her some love. She makes lovely content, super consistent as well. So you know what to do. You know what to
oh,
do. No problem. Big up to Football with Ends, big up to Jordan, and big up to Bart. So before we talk about the game, I do want to talk a little bit about obviously it's January, a new year. Transfer window is now open. None of our teams have done any business, unfortunately. But the question is, what are your thoughts about the potential transfer business for your team? Do you think that Arsenal will be signing anybody, whether it be on loan or permanently, this window?
Yeah, that's obviously a tough one because the thing is about both clubs. But I think we both clubs should really bring some players in. But I think for Arsenal, like we said, it's sort of the start of the transfer window now. But you are seeing other clubs do a few things, and you are thinking to yourself, what are we doing just sitting around? I mean, we Arsenal have got so many injuries, like Saka. When Ranieri was coming in, I thought, you know what, he's looking good, and he's injured, and we've got a whole lot of injuries. Obviously, Ben White's going to be back soon, which is sort of really positive. But I think with the transfer window, um, I'll be honest, I don't really feel confident. I do think we might loan a player in, and I don't have a massive problem with that. It sort of depends on who it is because I know as well we have been linked to Rashford as well, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I
Mm.
think as an outsider, everyone knows that our attack is really struggling. And even on the wing, I'd be happy if we would bring in, a winger and a striker. But it's so hard because I do wonder what we're going to do in the summer. Because I feel as though we're going to bring a striker in the summer, not right now. And I think January
Mm.
is a weird time, really, because I know we have brought players in that have done well, but I don't really know what we're going to do. I'm not confident would bring many players in. I think we have to bring someone in that's really gonna help us with those goals. The goals are a massive problem for us at the moment, and it's quite concerning, obviously, especially now Saka's going to be out maybe all the season, or maybe right until the end of the season he'll be out, and that's a big blow. And these
Mm.
players like Jesus, Havertz, Martinelli, we're having to rely on them, and we can't because they're just not really good enough right now. And
Mhm.
so yeah, I do really hope we do make some changes in the January transfer window. I don't mind if it's a loan, and just as long as it's a decent player that can really help us in the attack. But I wouldn't be surprised though if we didn't really bring anyone in because I have that feeling at the moment that not much is happening.
So you mentioned probably maybe a striker won't be happening now, but attacking player. Could it be maybe like a Saka, not replacement, but a Saka backup for now?
Yeah,
And maybe somebody that can be versatile, that can also play on the left.
yeah.
Um, Anybody in particular that you would want? It doesn't have to be straightly just from the Prem. Any player
I've
you
always
would
been
wish?
a fan of Eze. I really like him.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, if we did bring him in, I just don't know if he would. I think he would actually do a decent job, to be honest. And
Mhm.
I just worry that whoever we're bringing in, they're going to have to step up massively because we've obviously brought Sterling in as well, and he's came back from injury, he's on the bench, and we're not really seeing him play, and it's like being a bit of a waste of a signing. So I just think whoever
Mm.
comes in, I just want to be excited by the football that they're playing. So I think Eze is someone that I would love. I think with the strikers, I think it's so hard to be realistic in January because I don't understand who's going to leave their club in January to come to Arsenal um, and really step up. But yeah, Eze for me is sort of the one that I would really love, but I just don't know if it would happen really.
Yeah, it's that. I mean, you know what? It's like how with Arsenal, the way they're moving, it seems very unlikely. Even though
Yeah,
you really should get somebody, whether like we mentioned, it be a loan or not. You should get somebody. As you're still in a title race,
yeah,
and you want to kind of fully go for it. And you notice with how you play that spark without the
mm,
Saka, it's very difficult. It's a big
yeah.
blow, as you mentioned, Sophie. Very big blow. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie. Mm,
yeah. I mean, to be honest, like even with Saka, I'll be honest, he has been carrying us for a very long time, but we
true.
have looked a little bit predictable. Like even him playing, like not just blaming him, but I think as a whole Arsenal team, we have looked quite predictable. But Saka's, carried us through that. And yeah, it's just tough right now, really, because as we're going to mention this game coming up, it's like we're stuck with the same players. And like the other day, our attack struggling. We bring on Zinchenko, and it's like we have no one to really add to the team that
Mm,
can really change that in our attack. So
yeah,
yeah, it's a big problem right now.
agreed. I mean, same with us as well. We're struggling attacking wise as well. We've been creating chances, but it's like some of the players
Yeah,
just aren't able to fully finish the dinner. So we also need that. Do
yeah.
you think that Man United will be getting any transfers done in this window?
I think so. I mean, it's so hard to sort of know because January it's a very weird time, like I said, because teams don't really want to get rid of their players, especially if
Mm,
the week they don't have enough of a squad. But I
mm,
think I think Ruben Amorim, I think him coming in, I think he needs to bring in his own players, and I
mm-hmm.
think this would be a good chance for him to do that. I don't really know what the money situation's like, but like you said, even if it's a loan, even if it's till the end of the season, something that can maybe get you top six or win you a trophy. It's just something like that.
Yes.
Um, I think defensively it would be good for you guys to bring someone in. I mean, I think like you said, your attack, it's so hard because you're a bit like us as well, because some players will do really good one day. I mean, Hojlund, I like him, but I just don't think he's consistent enough. And I think you sort of got the same problem we have in our attack as well. And um, it's so hard with United because you actually played really well against Liverpool, I thought, and I think if you could do that more, then I think you would do really well. But I think it's about having the players that can do that all the time,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Spot on. Well done. Yeah. If we move the conversation a little bit more towards the game.
Yeah,
So, obviously, as you mentioned, Saka is out.
yeah.
Waneri, who I really like as well, very much of a bummer there that he is out for a little while. Um, who do you think will be like what other players are not or are missing? Um,
I think it is so weird because I think as well, like Odegaard and Havertz, I think they've been fit, but I still think they're playing through an illness, and I think for that Odegaard's just not being himself. But I think it's
mhm.
probably going to be just I think Waneri, Saka. Obviously, Ben White's not here. Tomiyasu, I do not know what's happened to him, honestly. Califiori, he's an interesting one. At the moment, I think I'd rather Lewis Skelly play because I know he's very young,
Mm,
but for me, he's just giving us everything that we need in a player. And so I think injury wise, I mean, you think when I read those names, it doesn't sound too bad, but it's just unfortunately the players that are playing can't give us enough. When it's like Saka and Wanera giving us more than the team that are playing, but unfortunately, they're out. I think with Waneri, I think his isn't as big as Saka, so I think maybe I don't really know how long the hamstring injury will be, but hopefully in a few weeks we'll get to see him. But yeah, I think as far as I know, that's pretty much the update on our injuries.
Okay. Mm. Yeah, with Tomiyasu.
I don't know what's
My
happened to him.
God.
It's like I feel so bad because he's so good, but I
Same.
just it's a
Yeah.
shame.
It's like, the best ability is availability. If it's not available, then
Yeah, exactly,
it's kind of
definitely.
peak.
I
Yeah.
know
With
it's.
us as well, yeah. No, go ahead. Did you want to
No, go on, you
say
go
anything
first.
further about it?
No,
No, okay, no.
sorry, that's a bit funny. That no, I was just saying. I think with us, it's those players being out is just a big blow. But I think even if they were fit, I think we would still be struggling a little bit anyway because of the striker situation. But I think, like we
Mm-hmm.
said, Saka is such a big player for Arsenal, and this is the game you really want him to play in, and it's going to be so tough in this game.
It will be. Aye, aye, aye. That's a good point. I mean, we also have some players out. The usuals with Victor Lindelöf, Johnny Evans,
Yeah.
Luke Shaw, of course, and Mason Mount. But Amram did say that Ahmad did have a little bit of an injury, but we are expecting him to be available for tomorrow's game. But yeah, that's just kind of something to be
Yeah.
wary of. And also, already know that Bayundir, the Turkish goalkeeper, he's going to be starting, which makes me a little bit concerned
Mm.
after his display against the Spurs a
Oh
few
my
weeks
god,
ago.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
that that wasn't great. I
Hey,
mean,
but then again, the week after Onana did the same thing, for the corner direct. Why?
that'll be an interesting one with that. I do wonder how strong United will go for this because I think both teams need to go strong. I mean, you've got.
Mm-hmm.
I know you'll want to be consistent in the league and maybe get top six, but I think both teams have to go for it. I think both teams could really do the trophy this season.
Yeah. Exactly. And with you guys, obviously, you played the midweek, first leg of the Carabao Cup against Newcastle. And then we
Yeah.
haven't played since the Liverpool game. So we've had proper rest a
Yeah.
week. So we should, there shouldn't be any excuses for not going strong, especially when the next game we're playing, yes, midweek game, but it's going to be against Southampton. So we should go all in my opinion,
Yeah, I
for
agree.
this game. hmm But do you think that you guys are going to go heavily strong with the fact that you also have the North London derby on, I think, Wednesday? Yeah, against
Yeah,
Spurs.
it's so tough as well. Like these games are just coming, quick and fast. We do play in midweek a lot. I do think we'll put a strong team out. I don't really know what our strongest team is right now. That's the problem. I mean,
Mm,
in the attack, I just don't know the strongest players we have
yeah.
that are gonna. I mean, Martinelli wouldn't surprise me if he actually scored because I know he can
hmm
score against United, and I don't know.
Yep.
It's just our players just seem to be kind of low in confidence. Like Jesus was, scoring goals for fun a few weeks ago, and then now he's just very quiet, and it's tough. But the midfield, if Odegaard's been ill as I mentioned, and I don't know how he is now. He might be feeling better, but he's just not being the Odegaard we've really seen recently. So
hmm
I think if he can be himself and have a good game, I think that'll definitely help us. But yeah, the attack for us, I think we have to go strong, and I think Arteta's learnt now to really go strong. And if we could win this competition, then that would be amazing because we do need a
Yeah.
trophy this season. But yeah, I do hope Arteta does put our best lineup we have with the injuries, unfortunately, and yeah, just go for it.
And how will that lineup look like for you?
Well, if these injuries, like if nothing changes now, obviously, I mean, I would go for Ryan goal. I mean, maybe it's a risk, but I think for this game, I want to go strong. And
hmm
we haven't actually kept many clean sheets recently, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he deserves, to be there. I mean, United, it's going to be a tough game, especially if both teams are going strong. So I would go him, and then if Lewis Skelly feels ready to play, I would definitely play him.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel, Saliba. Um, this is a tough one actually. I'd
Not
probably play
easy.
Timber possibly. I think with Timber, like he sometimes can play a full game, and sometimes you don't really see him playing much. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
he's had a big injury, so I think that's understandable. But if he
Of
feels
course.
ready to go, I would play him. Now the midfield, I would go with Partey, Rice, Odegaard. If all of them feel fit, if you don't feel fit, I'd probably maybe throw Joe Junior in there. But I think with Partey, it's definitely better in the midfield with Rice, and hopefully Ødegaard will have a good game. Now the attack, this is where it gets interesting because I just don't really know what our best options are because Trossard's so good, but then I just think he doesn't do much in the game like a lot of the players. But I'm just going to have to go with Havertz up top. Um, I'd probably throw Martinelli on the left, Jesus on the right. Just it's so hard because I just think unfortunately that attack doesn't excite me enough, and I'm just. But yeah, that's sort of the line I'd go for, and I reckon Arteta might go for something similar. But yeah, that's hopefully we can do something with that attack.
This, the difficulty is then, especially when you have injuries on key players, you then start to kind of think, how the hell are we gonna set this
Yeah,
team up? So I hear it. We're struggling with the same thing. I don't know what he's gonna do, but for
yeah,
us, obviously, we already know, as I mentioned, the second goalkeeper will be starting.
mm,
Back three will probably be Lisandro Martinez, Maguire, maybe Euro or Delict. One of the two is what I'm thinking. And then the wing backs will be Dallo, Mazraoui. Dallo was incredible against Liverpool. So I hope that he can do the same thing against you guys tomorrow, but we'll
yeah,
see. Ugarte has been shining throughout, in my opinion. A lot of people had him completely written off after just 2 games. When we signed him, I said, people, give him time. He's
yeah,
shining. So that's lovely to see. And the same with Maino slowly coming into rhythm after, being injured, of course, for some time. And then you have Bruno Ahmad up top, maybe Hojlund, maybe
yeah,
Zirkzee. I don't know. It's just doesn't build me lots of confidence. I would like with your team, I would
yeah,
love to get a striker right now, but I have a feeling that we probably won't go for. I mean, we have been linked with Colomwani as well, but I think it probably will go to like a Juve, and then
mm,
I don't know. I just see us maybe trying to go all in for a Jokeres in the summer.
yeah,
That's kind of what I think would be more plausible. As of course Amorim, we took him from Sporting, we took almost the entire coaching staff, bar I think it might have been the one decided to stay, but the rest we took them all.
yeah,
So it would be logical that we shouldn't be raiding them for any of their important players anytime soon. So yeah, but it is a bit concerning that we don't have any proper lethal clinical strikers,
yeah.
because the amount of chances that we have been creating, if only we could just score those chances.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember which games it's been, but I think it might have been against the Spurs game. But like you said, you're not doing bad in the attack. It's just the end product. It's like Arsenal.
Mm.
Like you can
Yeah,
create as many chances as you want, but if you're not going to take it, then it doesn't mean much. And
exactly.
I do think if you brought like a striker in the summer, like someone that
Hmm.
could really elevate your team, I think that would be a massive difference
Hmm.
to your team, and I think it's going to be interesting as well for Amarin what he does in the summer as well, because I
Hmm.
think you're 13th right now, which isn't ideal, but I think in time it'll be interesting to see where he can take you and sort of how the fans sort of think of him. But I do think he needs like transfer windows and to bring in the right players.
Agreed, we do. I mean, I hope we can. We need to make some sign, especially with the fact that Rashford will be leaving
Yeah,
right now. Milan might be a more a place that probably will be where he goes to, most likely on a loan, but still, he probably will be leaving. We won't see him in a Man United shirt ever again,
yeah,
as things stands, unfortunately, but it is what it is. So we do need to get a replacement, even though he hasn't been playing that much. We still do need to get a replacement. So yeah, I hope we do something, but we
yeah.
have to wait and see. So yeah, um, yeah. For the game tomorrow, how do you feel? Do you feel very confident, or do you feel just in the middle, anxious? Let me know.
It was interesting because when Arsenal played Brighton and I had a few days to think about it, someone asked me how do I feel going to the Newcastle game, and I feel the exact same. I just don't know how to feel because
Mm,
I just defensively, I'm not overly worried. It's just like because if we concede, then I just worry how are we going to react to that because it was like when
mm,
Brighton equalised, whether people agree that was right, their penalty, but we can't react. We don't have the quality right now to be
yeah.
able to score. Like we can maybe score one goal in a game or two goals, but we just don't seem like the same Arsenal was last season. And I get we have injuries and all of that, but I just maybe think maybe our little fighting spirit's not there as much as it was
Hmm.
in recent seasons. And I think if we had a striker, things would be so different. Like, I do think with a striker, we would have won that Newcastle game. Things would have gone different. But the reality is, these are Arteta's players that he's brought in, and they're
True.
just not doing the job right now, unfortunately. But I just worry about how we're going to score. Um, I mean, my hope right now is Martinelli or Jesus could help us, but Havertz has been quite quiet recently, which is a bit of a concern because obviously we've paid a lot of money for him in recent seasons. He's done quite well. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I can see this going either way, to be honest. It's so hard to be hopeful and positive because that result
Yeah.
against Newcastle was a real hard one to take. But I think if we lose this game, I just worry about where we go from here because the league 9 points, we could have closed that gap so many times and we haven't. So, yeah,
True.
I'm not really feeling the most confident going to this game, really.
I hear you. I feel maybe a little bit more confident
Mm,
in regards to this game compared to how I felt with the Liverpool game. But
yeah,
then again, you never know because it's also with, of course, the personnel who you would be. I mean, with the lineup, I think maybe I might feel a little bit calmer throughout the game.
yeah,
I'm a bit like, I don't know. It's like what you mentioned. I don't know exactly how I'm feeling.
yeah,
I don't know. It's a little bit all over the place. But I I just hope that we can build a bit more of a momentum after
yeah,
the, you know, good performance. Yes, we didn't win, but we should have won with um, the amount of chance that we had and how well we played that
yeah,
throughout the game. I was very proud. So I hope we're able to continue, you know, and build some consistency because I don't want us to have that great of a poor performance against Liverpool and then suddenly get completely crushed or not do anything against you guys tomorrow and be
yeah,
played off the park because then we're just taking several steps back, you know? So if we go out, at least show some spirit,
yeah.
you know? Give me something. That's all I want, you know?
Yeah, I think that's what's important really because I mean for Arsenal, I mean we've the way we've been playing recently has just been quite I think we've not been playing great. So I think for this, like I said, I just could see it going either way. Like I think it'll be a very tight game. So I think
Yeah.
if you guys win, it'll probably be like a 2-1, or if we win, it'll be like a 2-1. So I think it's going to be a very close game. I think for me, whoever's going to take their chances in this can win because we both got the same problem. Like you said, we both
Hmm.
need a striker. We both can't take our chances. So I do think this is going to be a very close game, really.
Yeah. I do think if we score first, I do think the environment, the
Yeah,
for the fans, oof,
that would be bad. Yeah,
that will be bad. So I do think that we will maybe probably capitalize from that in the same way kind of how we did with Liverpool. We scored first. Yes, they kept going, but we never gave up, which
yeah,
I definitely liked. But if you score first, then I think it'll be a bit more difficult for us to kind of get back into that. But then again, you never know. I just feel a little
yeah.
bit more comfortable if we score first, you know?
Yeah, I think if you score first, I don't think we're in trouble really because I think to
Mm,
myself that will give you confidence, and
yeah.
I think the general feeling around Arsenal fans is I think a lot of us feel quite drained and a bit tired of everything because it's
Mm,
been like how many seasons and we're quite far away from the league, and it feels to me that we've possibly thrown away the League Cup. I know there's still another tie, but I think we just all feel a bit like drained by it. So I think if you guys score first, I think I do worry about how are we going to score. But then on the other hand, if we score one goal, I just worry that we're going to sit back because I
mm,
think if we score first, you can score. But
sure.
I just think that we sit back sometimes and we don't score a second, and I think
Yeah.
we need to try and get as many goals as we can because
Yep.
that's what happened against Brighton. We got a goal, we sort of sat back a bit, and I don't know why we did that. And then they obviously got their goal. So I think Arsenal need to be clinical, so do United. But I do think whoever scores first will definitely be like the deciding point of the game.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's so hard to know how we both feel about this because
It really
you
is.
don't know what United are going to do, and like Arsenal, how we're going to do in our attack. It's just
Hmm.
unpredictable.
Very unpredictable. Exactly. So before we wrap up, what is your score prediction after all that we've talked about?
Oh,
What do you feel and think will happen tomorrow?
it's so tough. I've sort of got. I mean, I did a preview song the other day, and I said 2-1 Arsenal. But right as we're talking now, I hate to say this, but I just feel like 1-1. I just feel like a
Mm,
draw. It's so tough because I mean, we need our players to be on top form. We need at least one of our attackers to try and score. So yeah, I think maybe 1-1-2 on Arsenal. Like I said, I think it's going to be so close.
okay. Yeah, I also do think it's going to be very close. I mean, I believe so. There's no replays, there's extra time and then penalty. I don't want to do all of that.
Oh
Please
no,
just
the stress
get the
of
job
that.
done. I hate that.
Me too. Yeah, I'd
Please.
rather one of us win it the full time than have to go
Yeah,
through that.
I can't do it. It's just no, my blood pressure goes up. I can't do it. So please just make sure it's done by full time, please. But I say this all to say I'm gonna say Man United edge it 2-1.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's so.
Yeah.
Do you know what I watched when you guys played against Man City, and I thought to myself, you could do something like that again if you take your chances and if you put
Mm-hmm.
that pressure on Arsenal. It's possible. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is hard to call now because I think because I don't have a lot of confidence right now, we're not doing great, and it's just so hard. It's definitely going to be a close one, definitely, but it will still be a good
Mm-hmm.
game. And I just hope it doesn't go to extra time. Like the stress of that is too much
I
for
don't
us.
want that either. No, thank you. By the way, Ravi, I'm not scared. I'm just, just giving my opinion. Nobody's scared here. We're just
Saying how we feel. Yeah.
saying how I feel, basically. But yeah, thank you again, Sophie, for joining yet another stream. I had fun. Went by very quickly.
Oh,
Thank you.
I always love chatting with you. I feel like I could just chat with you about football for ages, and yeah,
Same.
I've really loved coming on your channel today. And please do subscribe to Sophia's channel because
Thank
she's
you.
doing amazing stuff. And yeah, let's get you to 6K and keep doing your
Thank
thing.
you.
And big up to everyone as well in the chat. It's been so lovely coming on your channel.
Pick up. And the same goes to you too, as well, Sophie. People, subscribe to Sophie's channel. She makes, as I said earlier, and this still stands, great content,
Oh, thank you.
super consistent. So subscribe. The channel handle is in the title of this video, and of course also in the description box. So there's no excuses to not subscribe. So make sure you do that. Sophie, what do you have coming up next on your channel?
Yeah, so thank you again. I've absolutely loved doing this. So yeah, basically, I'm just sort of doing like because obviously the games are happening so fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be doing like a review next week for the game, and just sort of the Spurs game is the one as well that I'm excited for. So I just sort of do preview reviews, that sort of stuff. And like I said, I like to get opposition fans like yourself on my channel, and I like hearing another fans' perspective as well, because I think it's amazing that we all have different opinions as well. So yeah, just that really. But yeah, I like I said, I absolutely love chatting with you. I love coming on your amazing channel. So thank you so much.
No problem, and thank you as well for taking the time to join. I appreciate it, guys. I will be back straight after the Arsenal Man United game. Hopefully, Lord, please, United, I beg you. I wanna, obviously we're out of the Carabao Cup, so I want to go, in all the competitions that we are still in.
Yeah,
I want to go all the way. So, but we'll see. So
yeah.
there you have it, people. Make sure you like this stream on your way out, and we are out. Goodbye. Have a lovely night. Bye bye.